Right, let's get into it. Now, today, they've been demonstrating in the twin cities of Sekondi-Takoradi in the western region. Now, those who took part in this demonstration are relatives of children who have been kidnapped. 7 children in all are missing, and the worried parents and other relatives say that they've paid ransoms which were demanded by the kidnappers, but their children remain in captivity. Well, the protest came on the day that the leader of the kidnapping syndicate was re-arrested after breaking jail last week. Now, we're going to bring you all the details of this shortly. But first, here are some images from today's demonstration.
Because they can't tell us that the kidnapper was jailed in police custody and he was able to escape. Why? Why? So we want answers. They have to explain to us why the kidnapper was able to escape from that cell.
But we are told he has been arrested.
That one we don't know.
So where are our girls? He has been arrested. Where are our girls? We can't find them. We want our girls. That's why we are. Whether he has been arrested or whatever. When they arrested him first, he confirmed that he didn't have it. So why is it that they didn't force him to go and bring the girls? They didn't do anything. He escaped and they've arrested him. What give us the assurance that we will get our girls? That is what we want. Only our girls. He has been arrested or whatever. We don't say we want our girls. That is what we want.
It's not just sitting at their office giving us assurance. They should come to the community. They should educate us. They should team up with NCC. Tell us the mode of operation. The people, how do they operate? How are they kidnapping the guests?
Now let's learn a bit more. The Western Regional Correspondent Natalia Kwanzaa joins us on the line. She's been covering the story and knows the latest. Natalia, good afternoon. Tell us how this demonstration went. Can you hear me, Natalia?
Hello.
Ah, there you are. So tell us about this demonstration. How did it all come to pass?
Okay, so the demonstrators are from 3 to 4 communities within the Sekondi-Takoradi metropolis. They started the demonstration around 8:30 this morning from Nkrofo, walked through some principal streets of Sekondi-Takoradi. And these demonstrators are parents, relatives of some girls who are said to have been kidnapped by this suspected and his group. So they were having placards with inscriptions such as, "We need our daughters now, we want justice, Sekondi-Takoradi is not safe for us." And they were all...
Right. Natalia, if you can hear me, it appears your signal is not very clear. If you can reposition yourself, find a better signal. We want to learn a lot more about this, this situation. Can you hear me? Right. We're going to reconnect with Natalia Kwanzaa in just a moment and get you more details of this rather alarming story that is unfolding as we speak in the western region. Now, we also have on the line Rebecca Quayson. She is a sister of one of the girls who has been kidnapped. Rebecca, good afternoon. First of all, tell us, how did your sister get kidnapped?
Okay, thank you very much. My sister told us that at first he didn't tell us the truth. He said he's going to the MTN office to do a thing. But later on, when he called, that was that day they kidnapped her. He told us that they put the thing on a WhatsApp group that MTN is giving work job, like opportunity for them to work at MTN. So he called the number. She called the number. And when she gets to the MTN office, a taxi parked in front of her and asked, "Are you the one coming for the job?" She said yes. And she didn't know where they took her. That's all. That's what we heard from her that day they kidnapped her, which is on the 4th December.
Okay, now how old is she?
18 years.
18. Have you communicated with her again since the 4th of December?
No, we haven't said anything.
Now, they asked for a ransom. How much did they ask you to pay?
At first, they said 10,000, and later on, they reduced it to 8,000.
So you paid them?
No, we didn't pay them, but we told the police that this is what they are telling us we should do. And the police people said we shouldn't pay them anything. So 2 days later, they called us telling us that we know that our sister is very sick and she has not eaten anything. So if you don't send the money, they will watch my sister to die. So we asked the police people if we should send the money. And they told us we should send only 100 Ghana. So we sent 100 Ghana. And later the next day, they called again, demanding another money. Then we sent another 200 Ghana. They said she's sick. So they have to take her to the hospital. So we paid another 200 Ghana. And later, 1 week later, they told us that the way my sister is crying, we have to pay them 2,000 so that they will release my sister. We asked these police people, they told us, okay, fine, let's pay the 2,000. They used that money to track and get the kidnapper. That's what we did. And unfortunately, when they arrested this kidnapper, they told us on Monday that he has escaped from the cell.
Right. Now, let's go back. They were communicating with you via telephone. Were they calling you and giving you the instructions?
Yes, they were using my sister's number to call us.
Okay.
But later, when they demanded 2,000, they used some borderline. And they told us we should put the money on that borderline.
Okay. So the first payments that you made, the 100 cedis and the 200 cedis, did you inform...
That one we put on our sister's phone.
Okay. Did you inform the police about it?
Yes, we did.
And did they try to trace any of these calls?
No. Even the 2,000 that we said, it was the BNI who were able to arrest the guy.
So it was the BNI who...
At first, the police people were doing nothing. So we went to the BNI and reported everything to them. And they told us that we have already been to the Central Police Station. So they will work with the Central Police Station, the police people.
Okay, now Natalia Kwanzaa joins us again on the line. Natalia, tell us, how many children in all have been kidnapped, and are they all girls?
Yes, from the residents and then the parents of these victims, they tell me these are 7 girls. But from the police, they said 3 of the cases have been reported to them, and these are all girls. And in these communities, which is Krokola, Seke, Obri, and Tankofo, and these are farming communities basically within the Sekondi-Takoradi metropolis.
Now, what are the age ranges of these girls?
The age ranges are from 16 to 21. I understand from the police public relations officer, DSC Olivia Irabna Adeku.
15 to
21.
21.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so what are the police saying about the status of this investigation? How did they come by the first suspect that they arrested?
So from DSC Olivia Irabna Adeku, they had leads, and then upon that, they went to arrest this suspect, Wilson Udesku, and so they are still investigating. As they rearrested him this dawn in an uncompleted building somewhere around Council Road. That's what they say, around 1 a.m. So they are still investigating. He has given them a lead to one guy who is by name John in Accra. So they are following up to see how best they can get this guy to, so that if these victims are alive, they can rescue and then reunite them with their families.
So do the police know whether or not the victims are still alive?
They can't tell for now.
Right. So the individual they have arrested has not been able to lead them to the location of these victims and has not been able to confirm whether the victims are still alive.
Sure. But they are still investigating. He told them about one of his accomplices by name John in Accra. So they said they have sent their men there to go and search for this John. But as to whether these victims are alive or not, he hasn't told them yet.
Right. Now, tell us, how did this individual come to escape from the police custody. What is the police saying about that?
So on Monday, when JoyNews went to the Regional Police Command to speak to the PRO, he told us that they found out that he used a metal to break, I think, a bar which gives ventilation to the cell. But as to how he got the metal, they are even surprised about that. They can't really tell how he managed, cut those bars where the ventilations come into the cell and then go out. They do not have much information on that. And she told me the investigation was still ongoing. So as and when they get adequate information, she will definitely let us know.
How did they relocate him in this uncompleted building? What do we know about that?
I think they followed up the officers who were on duty at the 30th of December 2018 were 7. And then the procedures, these officers were given 10 days to bring the suspect or follow the consequences. So they gave them 10 days. I think today should be the 4th day. So upon investigation, upon leads and tip-offs, they got to realize that this suspected kidnapper was in an uncompleted building. So they followed up and then rearrested him this dawn at 1 a.m.
Now, one of the family members of one of the suspected, kidnapped victims says that they paid a ransom. They've paid some money to the kidnappers. Is that the case for all the families? Do you have an idea of what other amounts have been paid as ransoms?
I don't have a fair idea of what other families have, but from what I have found morning, and some tell me they paid 10,000. Some tell me they have to pay it in bits. So when they are there, they will just receive a call from the kidnappers, pay this amount of money, then they would send in. But I also understand that they paid some money before contacting the police to inform them about the incident.
Right. So they had already paid some parts of the ransom before they took the matter to the police. Okay. Now, regarding the police, I mean, they have described this individual as the leader of the kidnapping group in some of the reports we've seen. So how are they explaining the fact that this person is the leader of the group but cannot lead them to where the children are?
That one, I haven't gone into that yet. They've assured us that they would rescue this victim. So we are waiting from now to tomorrow to get other information from the police.
Right. Well, we know you'll stay on top of that issue, so we'll continue to stay in touch with you on it. For now, thank you very much, Natalia, for that update. Well. Now, we've been speaking to the Western Regional Police, PRO, for a bit more of an explanation of what is going on. This is what he told us.
When he escaped the cell from 30th, our men who were on duty were given the 10 days to look for him. Police also had some intelligence. So yesterday, around 1 a.m., we had intelligence that he was hiding in an uncompleted building between two villages called Sekondi-Takoradi and Nkofo. And indeed, police went there, and after some search, they found him there, and he was rearrested. Currently, he's giving some leads, and he said that the victims he kidnapped are in Accra. So as I speak to you, our men are with him on the way to Accra. Yeah, he mentioned one John, also in Nigeria. The information we had was that he used an hacksaw blade to cut the ventilation window in the cell and escape through the ventilation window. So what happened? Actually, the command suspects that there might have been an external help. So for now, while he has been recaptured, those who, when investigation finds out that there was really indeed some external help from the policemen or women, they will be dealt with. Meanwhile, the ventilation window of the cells have been reinforced.
Right, let's learn a bit more. The perspective of an expert would be useful. Adam Bonner is an expert in safety and security. He joins us right now. Mr. Bonner, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
A truly worrying situation that we see unfolding. But let's assess how the police has approached this situation. They already have a man considered to be the ringleader of the kidnapping syndicate. How should they be proceeding from this point?
I think how we should be proceeding. Once again, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We need to take cue from how the police managed to rearrest the ringleader between two villages. You know, per their own standard practice, when a fugitive escapes in your custody, the police officer, you are given a particular timeline, usually about between 3 to 10 days to bring back the person, or you face service inquiry, you could be punished. And so this person was arrested, and this person escaped from lawful custody. And so when they were given 10 days to rearrest this person, they caught this person in less than 10 days. And so I expect the police that if they would do what they've been taught during their training, they are going to find where these children are. They would find them within a day, unless, of course, someone is being neglected. I mean, you know, the number of children is about 10. It's not even 7. I've spoken to some sources on the ground, and they are about 10, 11, 12 or so. And so for me, the procedure to follow in arresting these people is already there. From what the lady said, your reporter, you know, they sent some money for, you know, health costs. They kept sending money. And you and I mean, you don't need to be a security expert or technologist to know that for my mobile phone to be able to connect, it must connect to a cell site. And that cell site must lead the police or whoever needs information, you know, give you the GPS location where the person is. And so for me, you know, I'm still wondering, as if we are in the 18th century. This is 21st century Ghana, where you don't need any sophisticated equipment to find where these people are. Fortunately, they send money to them through mobile phones and all that. And they have not done any, you know, recovery of this kidnapped victims. It's strange. And I'm even told they are illegal immigrants in Ghana. And so where is the immigration service? What role are they playing? Are they making sure bad people are not coming into our country? For God's sake, others have destroyed our country. They shouldn't come to our country and take us hostage. And our authorities are just looking. And so for me, it's straightforward. They should be able to find them. Why must they send people from Takoradi to Accra? Why must you do that when the police headquarters is in Accra? Why must you do that when the national security minister is in Accra? When everyone is in Accra? You don't need to send personnel from Takoradi. All you needed to do was relay information to Accra and they would effect others.
Mr. Bonner, some of the family members are expressing suspicion that the police might actually be in some way colluding with these kidnappers. How likely is that in a situation where lives are at risk? You know, 7 young girls are missing. How likely is it that the police would actually stoop as low as to collude with the kidnappers for the sake of money?
Well, you know what? Sometimes some of us have been lenient on the police, but looking at the trend of events, I would not doubt it if the police, some personnel, some miscreants within the police are in bed with this kidnapper. I would not be surprised, because then if after this guy escaping, mysteriously escaping, they get to 10 days, he's been rearrested, and you pose with him in full gear, who are you displaying that to tell us that you captured him? Tell us where these people they've kidnapped are. And so for me, I have to be honest with you, I don't want to add to the speculation, but I want to believe that the families of the victims might not be further away from if they say some personnel of the police service are actually impaired with the kidnapping. Let's use your medium to speak directly to the regional commander of the Western region. If he cannot do his job, he should move from the Western region. Because this is painful for foreign nationals to take us hostage, and you are looking on and not rescuing the victims for all these days. And when one of the suspects escaped your custody, your men captured him in 10 days, in 4 days, and you are still at post.
Now, the police have described the individual who they arrested, escaped, and rearrested as the ringleader. In terms of your experience of investigations and so forth, what could the explanation be for the reason why they have the ringleader in their grasp, but he cannot lead them to where the girls are? Instead, he apparently has identified another accomplice of his. What could possibly be a feasible explanation for why the ringleader cannot lead the police to the victims?
I believe they are talking more than they actually know. If you say he's a ringleader, what makes him a ringleader? Did he tell you? What information, what intelligence have you picked, regarding this guy, who he is? So by now, I believe that they should have even asked him, we should have gotten information about where he comes from, Nigeria, his village. We should have had our embassy in Nigeria, liaising with Interpol, go to his village to know whether, in fact, this guy is not even a fugitive, hiding in Ghana. Then you are able to determine if he's a ringleader. For all you know, this guy is not a ringleader. He's one of the boss. And therefore, because I believe if he indeed is a ringleader, then the authorities are not using the right mechanism in terms of interrogation. There are procedures. If you have to interrogate some of this, they might not talk, but there are ways and means to interrogate him, and you talk. And so for me, I don't want to believe that he is a ringleader. But if he is, then they're not using the right laid-down procedures in getting information to suspect they've arrested.
One of the family members told us that they originally reported this matter to the police, who didn't take any action until they made a report to the BNI. And it was the BNI that somehow provided information that the police relied on to arrest this individual the first time. How regular is it for the BNI to be involved in investigations of this matter?
Well, I would pat the BNI in the back if this information, in fact, I checked it, it's true, but I might have to speak, them directly. This is part of their work. This is part of their work, but for the police, for them not to act, it is, I think, the regional command, the whole structure within the region, you have to be questioned, because for probably the BNI director in the Western region and his boards and his men and women to have acted in collaboration with the police to effect this arrest, instead of the police acting in collaboration with the BNI to effect an arrest, then there is some anomaly somewhere. So it's not regular. It's not a regular thing where you go to the BNI. It is. How many of us know the Office of Bureau of National Investigation? How many of us do know? You have to be so desperate where the BNI comes last resort to fall on. Usually, you would have the police reporting issues to the BNI, telling the BNI, can you help us with this? But for citizens or the offices of BNI and report to the BNI that we have an issue at hand, the police is not helping, so you help. Tells you there is a problem probably in the Western region. And so for me, it's not the norm where I would, or someone steals my child, kidnap my child, and I walk to the BNI head instead of going to the police headquarters or the East Legon police, what do you call it, police station, I rather go to the nearest BNI office to report. How many people go to the FBI to report cases to the FBI or the CI or the MI6 or the MI5. It's not the norm. So please, that's not the norm, please.
Now, at least one of these girls was taken in the first week of December. So it's been a month now. In a typical kidnapping situation, a month after a victim is taken, what are the chances that this victim is still alive?
In usually the West, when anything after 14 days, then you should be looking for a lifeless body. But in our situation, we can only hope and pray that these people are probably within the territory of Ghana, because the information I've picked, looks like some of them are not actually in the country. They might have taken some of them outside the jurisdiction of Ghana, but we must wait for the police and the BNI, now that the BNI has been opened, to probably tell us where they are. But for 30 days, Kojo, I believe, I don't know whether you want to stay in a hotel for 30 days, how uncomfortable staying in a hotel for 30 days is going to be for anybody who has to be sent home to live in. You have to live in a hotel for 30 days. And so you can imagine children, little children being kidnapped and kept in probably solitary confinement for 30 days. I mean, we can only hope and pray. We can only hope and pray that.
Mr. Adam Bona is a security expert. Thank you very much for your time with us this afternoon. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Well, fingers crossed for these young girls to be returned.